master your mind. There's a battle happening right now, not somewhere distant, not against some external enemy, but right inside your skull. Your mind is at war with itself. One moment you're motivated and focused. The next, you're anxious and distracted. One minute you're confident. The next, you're paralyzed by doubt. Your thoughts spiral into worry about the future or regret about the past. Your emotions swing wildly based on circumstances you cannot control. And in the middle of all this chaos stands you, exhausted, overwhelmed, wondering if you'll ever find peace. Here's the truth the Stoics discovered over 2,000 years ago. The only real freedom is freedom of mind, and the only real prison is the one we build with our own thoughts. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." An emperor with armies, wealth, and absolute authority understood something most people never grasp. External power means nothing if you cannot master your own mind. Today, we're going to explore how to achieve that mastery, not through mysticism or wishful thinking, but through practical Stoic techniques that have been tested by centuries of practitioners. This is not about positive thinking or manifesting or any modern self-help nonsense. This is about developing genuine mental discipline, the kind that allows you to remain calm in chaos, focused amid distraction, and free regardless of circumstances. The kind that transforms your life from the inside out. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your worst enemy. The choice is yours. Let's ensure it becomes your ally. Part 1. Understanding the mind's nature. 4 minutes. Before you can master your mind, you must understand what you're dealing with. The untrained mind is not your friend. It's a chaos engine, constantly generating thoughts, most of them useless, many of them harmful. Epictetus taught, "It's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things." Think about what this means. The event itself, whatever happened, has no inherent meaning. Your mind assigns the meaning. Your mind creates the emotional response. Your mind decides whether something is a disaster or an opportunity. The untrained mind operates on autopilot, running ancient programs designed for survival in a completely different environment. It catastrophizes. It overgeneralizes. It focuses on threats. It replays past failures. It imagines future disasters. This is not a bug. This is a feature, one that helped our ancestors survive in a world full of predators. But in modern life, this same system creates anxiety, depression, and unnecessary suffering. Your mind will tell you stories. It will insist these stories are facts. It will generate emotions that feel absolutely real and justified. And if you believe everything your mind tells you, you'll be a slave to it. Marcus Aurelius recognized this. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Your anxious thoughts about the future, opinions. Your ruminations about the past, perspectives. Your emotional reactions, interpretations. None of it is objective reality. All of it is your mind's construction. This is simultaneously terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because it means you cannot trust your automatic thoughts and reactions. Liberating because it means you can change them. The Stoics practiced a technique called cognitive distancing, observing your thoughts instead of identifying with them. Not, "I am anxious," but I'm having anxious thoughts. Not, I am a failure, but I'm having thoughts about failure. Not, this is terrible, but I'm judging this as terrible. This simple shift creates space. In that space lies freedom. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Most of your suffering is self-created. Your mind takes a neutral event, adds catastrophic interpretation, generates emotional response, and convinces you that this response is inevitable and justified. It's not. Understanding this is the first step toward mastery. Your mind is a tool. Currently, it's controlling you. The goal is to reverse that relationship, for you to control it. Part 2. The practice of attention control. 5 minutes. If you want to master your mind, you must first master your attention. Attention is everything. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention is constantly hijacked by distractions, worries, and irrelevant thoughts, your life will reflect that chaos. Marcus Aurelius observed, "Our life is what our thoughts make it, not what happens to us, what we think about what happens to us." The average person has essentially zero control over their attention. They're completely reactive. A notification grabs their attention. A worry captures it. A random thought derails them. They're like a ship without a rudder, blown wherever the wind takes them. This is mental slavery. The Stoics practiced deliberate attention training. Here's how. First, morning intention setting. Every morning, before you engage with the world, decide where your attention will go. What matters today? What deserves your mental energy? What can be ignored? Marcus Aurelius would remind himself each morning what he would face that day: difficult people, setbacks, challenges, and decide in advance how he would direct his attention. Not scattered across 1,000 worries, but focused on what he could control, his own character and responses. Second, single tasking. The modern world encourages multitasking, a guaranteed path to mental weakness. You cannot master what you cannot focus on. Choose one thing, give it your complete attention, then move to the next thing. Seneca wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." If your attention is everywhere, you master nothing, including your own mind. Third, deliberate redirection. Your mind will wander. This is normal. The practice is noticing when it wanders and deliberately bringing it back. Worrying about something outside your control? Notice it. Label it. That's a worry thought. Redirect to something productive. Replaying a past event? Notice it. Label it. That's rumination. Redirect to the present moment. Imagining catastrophic futures? Notice it. Label it. That's anxiety. Redirect to what's actually happening right now. This is not suppression. You're not fighting the thoughts. You're simply choosing not to follow them. There's a profound difference. Epictetus taught, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." Your attention is in your power, completely, totally, at every moment. But exercising that power requires constant practice. Your mind has decades of practice pulling you wherever it wants. You need to build new patterns, new neural pathways, new habits of attention. Fourth, attention hygiene. Just as you maintain physical hygiene, you must maintain attention hygiene. This means ruthlessly eliminating attention parasites from your life. Social media designed to hijack your focus. News designed to keep you anxious and engaged. People who drain your mental energy. Entertainment that numbs rather than nourishes. Every time you allow something to steal your attention, you weaken your capacity for focus. Every time you consciously direct your attention, you strengthen it. The Stoics believed in guarding your mind like you'd guard your most valuable possession, because it is. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be like a rocky promontory against which the restless surf continually pounds. It stands fast, while the churning sea is lulled to sleep at its feet. Become unmovable. Let distractions crash against your attention and dissolve. Remain focused on what matters." This is not easy. This is perhaps the hardest work you'll ever do, but it's also the most important. Because if you cannot control your attention, you cannot control anything else in your life. Part 3. Emotional Mastery. 5 minutes. Mastering your mind isn't just about thoughts, it's about emotions. Most people are completely controlled by their emotions. They feel angry, so they act angry. They feel anxious, so they avoid. They feel sad, so they collapse. They're emotional puppets, and circumstances pull the strings. The Stoics had a different approach. They didn't advocate for eliminating emotions. That's impossible and unhealthy. They advocated for not being controlled by emotions, for observing emotions without identifying with them, for responding thoughtfully instead of reacting automatically. Marcus Aurelius instructed himself, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Read that again. The pain is not due to the thing itself. It's due to your estimate, your judgment of it. And you have the power to change that judgment at any moment. Here's the practical application. Step 1. Label the emotion. Don't say, "I am angry." Say, "I'm experiencing anger." This subtle linguistic shift creates psychological distance. You're not the emotion. You're the observer of the emotion. Step 2. Locate it physically. Where do you feel anger in your body? Your chest? Your jaw? Your shoulders? By focusing on the physical sensation, you interrupt the story your mind wants to tell about why you should be angry. Step 3. Question the judgment. What judgment created this emotion? This shouldn't have happened. This is terrible. This is unfair. Is that judgment true? Is it helpful? Is it within your control to change the situation? Usually the answer is no, no, and no. Step 4. Choose your response. The emotion exists. You cannot will it away, but you can choose how to respond to it. Feel angry? Notice it. Don't act on it. Wait for the neurochemical surge to pass. It takes about 90 seconds if you don't feed it with thoughts. Feel anxious? Notice it. Ask, "Is this useful right now? Is this protecting me from actual danger or just creating imaginary suffering?" Feel sad? Notice it. Allow it. But don't let it dictate your behavior. Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Emotions are trials. They're friction. They're opportunities to practice mastery. Every time you feel a strong emotion and choose your response, instead of reacting automatically, you're polishing the gem of your character. The weak person is controlled by emotions. The strong person experiences emotions but controls their responses. This doesn't mean becoming cold or robotic. It means becoming free. Free to feel everything but controlled by nothing. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Emotions often come from wanting reality to be different than it is. Anger because something happened that shouldn't have. Anxiety because something might happen that shouldn't. Sadness because something didn't happen that should have. All of it is resistance to what is. The Stoic practice is acceptance, not passive resignation, but active acknowledgement of reality as it is, followed by thoughtful action based on what you can control. When you stop fighting reality, most negative emotions lose their power. What remains is clarity, peace, and the capacity for effective action. Part 4. The Dichotomy of Control. 4 minutes. At the heart of Stoic mental mastery is one concept, the dichotomy of control. Epictetus made this the foundation of his teaching. Some things are within our power, while others are not. This seems obvious, almost too simple to matter. But most people spend their entire lives confused about what they can and cannot control, which creates endless suffering. Here's what you can control. Your thoughts, not the automatic ones that arise, but which ones you engage with and believe. Your actions, what you choose to do or not do. Your values, what you consider important. Your effort, how much you try. Your character, who you're becoming through your choices. Your responses, how you react to circumstances. That's it. That's the complete list. Here's what you cannot control. Other people's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The past, it's done. The future, it hasn't happened. Your reputation, it exists in others' minds. Outcomes, too many variables outside your control. Natural events, weather, health issues, accidents. Most of what happens in life, almost everything. Now here's the crucial insight. Every moment you spend worrying about what you cannot control is wasted. Worse than wasted, it's actively harmful. It drains your mental energy, creates anxiety, and accomplishes nothing. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control." Most mental suffering comes from violating this principle. You worry about whether someone will like you, cannot control. You stress about whether your project will succeed, cannot fully control. You can control your effort, not the outcome. You ruminate about something you said yesterday, cannot control. It's in the past. You imagine catastrophic futures, cannot control. They're not real. All of this is mental energy poured into a black hole. The practice is simple, but not easy. Constantly ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, take action. Plan, execute, improve. If no, let it go. Completely, immediately. This requires brutal honesty. Your ego will insist you have more control than you do. Your anxiety will insist you need to keep worrying about things outside your control, just in case. Both are lies. Seneca observed, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." The imaginary suffering, the worry, the rumination, the catastrophizing, all comes from trying to control what you cannot control. When you fully accept the dichotomy of control, something remarkable happens. You become more effective at everything. Why? Because all your energy flows toward what you can actually influence, instead of being dissipated across 1,000 things you cannot change. Your mind becomes focused, clear, powerful. This is mastery. Part 5. Daily Stoic Practices. 5 minutes. Mental mastery isn't achieved through understanding alone. It requires daily practice. The Stoics developed specific techniques that, when practiced consistently, transform the mind. Practice 1. Morning premeditatio malorum. Before your day begins, mentally rehearse what could go wrong. Not to cultivate anxiety, but to prepare your mind. Today I might face criticism, rejection, setbacks, difficult people, obstacles. By anticipating challenges, you remove their power to disturb you. When they happen, you're prepared. You've already decided how you'll respond. Marcus Aurelius did this every morning, reminding himself that he would encounter difficult people, that plans might fail, that things wouldn't go perfectly. This practice eliminated surprise and emotional reactivity. Practice 2. View from above. Throughout the day, practice zooming out. See yourself from above. See your city from above. See Earth from space. This perspective shift immediately reduces the emotional charge of whatever you're experiencing. That argument? Insignificant from space. That failure? Invisible in the cosmic scale. This isn't nihilism. It's perspective. It's remembering that most of what seems overwhelming in the moment is actually quite small. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Asia and Europe, mere corners of the universe. Every sea, a drop in the ocean. Mount Athos, a molehill." When you practice this perspective regularly, minor annoyances lose their power to disturb you. Practice 3. Evening reflection. Before sleep, review your day. The Stoics, particularly Seneca, emphasize this practice. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I exercise virtue and self-control? Where did I fail? Where did I let my mind control me instead of mastering it? What can I do better tomorrow? This isn't about guilt or self-judgment. It's about continuous improvement. You're training your mind through honest feedback. Seneca wrote, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, aware of this habit that's now mine, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said, hiding nothing from myself, passing nothing by." This daily audit strengthens your mental discipline exponentially over time. Practice 4. Negative visualization. Regularly imagine losing what you value. Not to be pessimistic, but to cultivate gratitude and reduce attachment. Imagine losing your health, your wealth, your relationships, your possessions. This practice serves 2 purposes. First, it makes you appreciate what you have right now, in this moment. Second, it prepares you psychologically for loss, which is inevitable in life. When loss comes, you won't be destroyed because you've already rehearsed it mentally. Epictetus taught, "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well." Negative visualization helps you wish for reality as it is, not as you want it to be. Practice 5. Memento mori. Remember death. You will die. Everyone you love will die. This isn't morbid, it's liberating. When you truly internalize that your time is limited, trivialities lose their power. You stop wasting mental energy on nonsense. You focus on what actually matters. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This is the ultimate attention filter. Does this worry matter if you might die tomorrow? Does this argument matter? Does this distraction matter? Most things don't. Death clarifies priorities like nothing else. These 5 practices, done daily, will transform your mind. Not overnight, not through some mystical process, through the simple accumulation of disciplined repetition. Part 6. Liberation through discipline. 4 minutes. There's a paradox at the heart of mental mastery. Freedom comes through discipline. Modern culture tells you the opposite. Be free. Do what feels good. Follow your emotions. Don't restrict yourself. This is the path to slavery. Slavery to impulse. Slavery to circumstance. Slavery to emotion. True freedom, the kind the Stoics valued above all else, comes from disciplining your mind so thoroughly that external circumstances cannot disturb your inner peace. Epictetus, who was literally a slave, understood this better than anyone. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. You cannot be free if your peace of mind depends on things outside your control. You cannot be free if your emotions dictate your behavior. You cannot be free if your attention is constantly hijacked. Discipline is what creates freedom. The discipline to direct your attention where you choose. The discipline to observe your emotions without being controlled by them. The discipline to focus on what you can control and release what you cannot. The discipline to practice daily, even when you don't feel like it. The discipline to guard your mind against negative influences. This discipline is not restriction, it's liberation. Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Think about what mastery means. A master craftsman isn't restricted by his tools. He's liberated by his skill in using them. A master musician isn't limited by discipline. She's freed to create because discipline has made expression effortless. Your mind is the same. Discipline it, master it, and you become free. Free from anxiety about the future. Free from regret about the past. Free from dependence on external validation. Free from the tyranny of your own emotions. Free to live according to your values, regardless of circumstances. This is what the Stoics meant by freedom. Not freedom to do whatever you want. That's just slavery to desire. But freedom to be unshaken by whatever happens. Marcus Aurelius, facing plague, war, betrayal, and the immense burden of empire, remained free because his mind was disciplined. You face your own challenges, your own chaos, your own suffering. The question is, will you master your mind, or will it master you? Closing. The practice begins now. 3 minutes. We've covered a lot. Understanding the mind's nature, controlling attention, mastering emotions, applying the dichotomy of control, and daily Stoic practices. But understanding means nothing without practice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Stop thinking about mental mastery. Start practicing it. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can let your mind continue operating on autopilot, pulling you wherever it wants, creating suffering through undisciplined thought. Or you can begin the practice of mastery. Start simple. For the next hour, practice directing your attention deliberately. When it wanders, notice it and bring it back. Just 1 hour of conscious attention control. The next time you feel a strong emotion, practice the 4 steps. Label it, locate it physically, question the judgment, choose your response. Tonight, before sleep, spend 5 minutes reviewing your day. What went well? Where did you lose control of your mind? What will you do better tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, spend 5 minutes anticipating challenges and deciding how you'll respond. These are not grand gestures, they're small, daily practices. But small daily practices, repeated consistently, create transformation. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Who would you be? A person of mental mastery, calm in chaos, focused amid distraction, free regardless of circumstances. Then do what you have to do. Practice, daily, without exception. without excuse. The Stoics promise you this: if you do the work, you will achieve the mastery. Not because of magic, but because mental discipline is a skill like any other. Practice it and you improve. Neglect it and you weaken. Seneca wrote, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your mind. Master your mind, and you master your life. This is not philosophy for its own sake. This is practical wisdom that changes everything. The Stoics weren't academics in ivory towers. They were practitioners in the arena of life. Emperors, slaves, soldiers, politicians, all facing real challenges and finding peace through mental discipline. You can do the same. Your mind is either your prison or your liberation. The choice and the work is yours. Begin now.